The whole Lower Fraser River and estuary has a huge problem with a lack of connectivity. So from the flood control structures that are more in the river itself down to the estuary, where we have numerous jetties and causeways that really alter connectivity, really change the way that fish move around in the estuary, change the kind of habitats that used to exist in the estuary. So it's a big problem, not only from flood infrastructure, but from other water control infrastructure that we've built in the estuary as well. And so I think it's really important that we work to really reconnect those habitats. So when juvenile salmon are moving down into the estuary and out to the ocean, they're going to be transitioning from the freshwater environment that they've come from upstream out to that really salty environment in the ocean. And they're really thought to rely on this brackish water, this mix of the ocean water and the river water. But what we find at this site here is that now in McDonald's Slough, it's very fresh. Essentially, there's no salt in the water at all. Whereas if you go to the other side of the causeway, you'll find it's quite salty, almost to the salt level of the ocean. So now we've kind of lost that mixing area that juvenile salmon are thought to really rely on before they make that final transition to the full salt water of the ocean. For my master's research, I looked at the impact of floodgates and pump stations on fish communities in the Lower Fraser River. So I had 10 sites, 5 that had floodgates and pump stations, and 5 reference sites that didn't. And I compared the fish communities in those 2 sites. We went out and we took readings for an extended period upstream of the floodgates and downstream. And what we found was that upstream of the floodgates, we had these dead zones where there was really no oxygen at all. And this extended for at least 100 meters upstream. So even if the floodgates are open during that time, there's this kind of barrier created by this lack of dissolved oxygen that would, fish are not going to want to enter that area. There's still a ton of salmon around, and if we can just give them a little bit easier of a time, I feel like they could really bounce back.